Hello there, beautiful Sagittarius energies, and welcome to my channel, Mystic Light Seeker. I hope you are doing well and life has been treating you great. So, beautiful Sagittarius, this is going to be a love reading, and I'm going to be doing something I have not done on this channel before, which is using the Celtic Cross spread to engage in this reading for you. And the Celtic Cross is a 9-card spread. We have the center cross and we have the staff. And I'm only explaining it, especially for those of you that may not know what it is or may not have heard of it before, but have seen it. That's what's going on. It's one of the most original spreads out there. It goes way back. I think it's like 5th to the 8th century time frames. All right. This is just for fun. And so I haven't done it before, and I was like, well, why not? So if you enjoy tarot and you would like to continue supporting this channel, feel free to like the video, subscribe. Also, thank you to all returning subscribers, viewers. Appreciate you all so much. Every like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you do that engages with my channel helps support this process, and would love you to become part of our little circle here, and hopefully you enjoy these readings and find meaning in them. All right, so let's get started. This is going to be for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising placement. All right, very general reading, just take what resonates. Your first card here is representative of the situation and yourself. Here in this reading, we have the 5 of Cups for the love situation. The 7 of Cups is here for the current problem, challenge, issue that you're dealing with. All right. This here represents the past, okay? And so with the past, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. Your future is being represented by the Devil in reverse, okay? Capricorn energy here. All right. So for what's on the conscious mind here, we have the Heropant in reverse, Taurus energy, and what's in your unconscious or what is hidden, unknown, or you need to be focusing on instead, we have the Hangman. All right, very interesting. The Hangman is here. All right, now for the staff part, we have your influences, how you see things, what you want, where things are going, how you're influencing the situation. All right, we also have the 3 of, oh, that's the Death card, by the way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas. Just wanted to show up for you. The 3 of Swords here for you, beautiful Sagittarius. We have showing up in the reverse for your external influences, what's on the outside, what's affecting you emotionally, or what other people's perceptions are. All right, we have the King of Swords here, okay, for your hopes and fears. And we also have the 3 of Cups in reverse for outcome. Now, I want you to think of the center right here as the situation and the factors involved in the dynamics, okay? And then think of the staff here as the guidance for clarity, direction, way forward. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So with the 5 of Cups, Sagittarius, it seems like you might be dealing with an emotional level of something that's very disappointing at the present time, in an emotional state where things feel like there's been, like, we're looking at like spilled cups, so to speak. We're looking at the present situation as something that could be contributing to some sort of a loss. All right, you do have an optimistic spirit here, I feel like, but you're feeling weighed down, like you're really disappointed in somebody or a situation right now. Maybe somebody's let you down or has left you feeling unfulfilled, has not met your expectations, or has not lived up to the promises that they have chosen to kind of commit to or speak of, okay, something like that. Despite this usual like spunk that comes with you, I feel like you're like kind of, again, mulling and lingering on what's going wrong, what's gone wrong, what's going on in the background. You could be feeling here also with the card symbology, if you will. You could be feeling like you're wanting to just kind of let things be where they are, build a bridge, get over it, get yourself moving, move towards something new, something better, and shift your focus. So you're coming in a little kind of, yeah, disappointed, sad. Maybe somebody's abandoned, their duties or responsibilities. It feels more like somebody kind of like just kind of gave up on something. All right, the Seven of Cups is kind of showing up as well, Scorpio energy here. With the Seven of Cups, I feel like, you could be caught in some sort of a somebody's illusions. Okay, you could be caught up, somebody's over promising things, giving options, providing options, putting things in your head, in terms of like romantic possibilities and things, building up dreams. All right, but something here is coming through for you that's not adding up. Okay, so in terms of like a challenge specifically, it feels like you're unsure if this person is the one, or if you're just kind of like chasing a fantasy. Because here, let me tell you, with them, where they show up here with the Five of Cups, I feel like they're contributing to your sadness. They're not feeding you or your emotional bucket. They're not emotionally available. They're stuck in their own issues. They have their own problems, their own regrets. Okay, so this is somebody I feel like is bringing you down to their actual level and mood of things. Okay, kind of like what, forcing you, or not necessarily forcing you, but they're so deep in their own issues that they're kind of dragging you as a part, like into it, like kind of making you feel like how they go through. This is somebody I feel like just doesn't want to fully engage, all right, and they're like leaving you short-handed. They're not meeting you halfway in this connection at all. And so now with the Seven of Cups, in terms of this card being a card of illusions, if you will, even though you're trying to have the faith, like you're just trying to like be optimistic, or just trying to like, look at the options overall of like the possibilities of what the heck is going on here. This person is just kind of coming through like, they have multiple options. They give you multiple, like they have like multiple personas, I don't know, faces. Like they're never like consistent. They could be charming one moment and then distant the next. They disengage very quickly. They're not really committed. They're just kind of juggling the things that they want, and you're like, it feels like, sorry to say, but I feel like it seems like this is kind of something you're also aware of, Sagittarius, but it feels like you're like one of the options, not the option of things. Okay, so it's like you're kind of like playing into their fantasy and what they want, and they're not giving much. So this could also, because of that, this could lead into this whole manipulation thing, which is why I was saying here earlier, it feels like maybe they're pulling you into their own pool of energy, if you will, or into their own frequency. Now you're resisting it somehow, and that's kind of why things could be kind of like, well, why is this happening and why is that happening? And you're like, little sparks of thoughts, questions, doubts. That's your intuition probably tugging at you as well, by the way. So keep all that in mind. This is somebody that could be stringing you along, and like I said, you're thinking like, well, what is going on? There's something that they're not also deciding on. They're keeping something from deepening. They're keeping things around just enough to keep it active, but they're not wanting to deepen or enrich anything right now, and that's again something that you're catching on to. So you're like, hey, WTF, what is going on? Okay, so in terms of the past, right, we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. I feel like in the past you felt where you've been overwhelmed, okay, or even maybe defensive when it comes to like love. This is in the reverse. It's kind of shown like the wounds that you've kind of gone through, and like kind of how like you're trying to persevere. But I feel like for a lot of you, you may have also struggled in the past to deal with what do you call it? To deal with things like head on, to actually, address them. Like you've maybe kept them to yourself. You've tried to kind of like heal your own wounds, mend your own heart. Like you're not like the fighter, and it's not meant to be that you're the fighter. But here it just feels like you've struggled with these things, and maybe you were, or in this relationship even, from the past, this is something that has never been able to be grounded, okay, or have like residual meaning. It feels like there's just a lot of confusion at play here. So your confidence here, with this energy, or how this person makes you feel, or in past relationships, people have taken maybe your kindness for weakness, so they'd like to find ways to dim your confidence and kind of again bring you back into their energy frequency. And I feel like this reading is more about waking you up to maybe a pattern that maybe you're aware of, but actually needs like focus and like a transformation from some sort of a change to make things happen for your happiness, right? So your hesitation in general, just from these past experiences, it makes you very wary. And like I said, that's kind of like why these sparks, these tiny nudges are popping in for you. That's your intuition saying, this is not making sense. How come is this? So this person is coming across a little slimy, shady, inconsistent so far. The devil is here in the reverse, okay? So, and again, this is somebody that maybe is a past person that you're still lingering or connected with for whatever reason. All right. So the feeling stuck, or the feeling like the sense of freedom that's trying to get achieved. This is because maybe somebody had put you in that mental trigger trap. So like they've put you in that trap where mentally you become conditioned. Okay. So habits, right? So, the good thing here is, the fortunate thing for you, my beautiful Sagittarius, is this is all transforming for you and changing, but we'll talk about that in a minute. However, this is, like I said, the current dynamic of things. So we're talking about like how things are playing out for you. Capricorn energy, like I had mentioned, but you're on the cusp. Like I said, you're on the cusp of breaking free. Things are transforming. Okay, some unhealthy patterns still exist that need to be worked on, because of these individuals and the impacts or the stigma that they've kind of imprinted on you in terms of like valuing you based on how they see you and not based on what you are worth, which you're worth the world. Okay, so you're a very amazing person. But here we are. I feel like your spirit, your heart, your mind is ready to let go of the toxicity, all right, or even your own self-imposed limitations or mental traps that you keep yourself stuck in. It's tough, but you're going to be working on reclaiming your freedom. So that's a very beautiful thing. I feel like you're picking up, like I said, the surge of clarity is coming through, bits and pieces. Some sort of glitch in the matrix feels like it's kind of waking you up. It's like, hey, I'm not going to be defined by how others are going to treat me and how they make me feel. All right. So I feel like you're kind of bringing yourself forward, to choosing something that aligns with your true desires, what you want here, what you want to happen, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of you, in terms of the Hierophant, we're looking at ultimately here we're looking at things where um you're craving something that is, because like the tradition in things, right? The tradition of things, I should say, have not been promising. They've been actually kind of very, how do I say this? They've been very inconsistent, right? So conformance and stipulations and things like that, we're not there anymore. I feel like a lot of you're questioning the how do I call, what's the word, the convention of things. Like you're questioning the basics of this relationship. Like you're looking at the structure, it's not formed. You're looking at patterns, they're not healthy. You're looking at commitment, it's non-existent. All right, or it's very shaky, it's not authentic. So I feel like for a lot of you, this whole non-conformance is driving you, for a connection that matches what you want, what you are desiring, whatever wild, magical, happy, and messy thing that your mind is creating for whatever it is that you want. You're realizing now that that's what's important. It's the things that work for you, versus matching for somebody else's on their match list. Okay, so almost feels like you're dealing with somebody that could even come from a different culture, different sort of background. So like the traditions are just could be completely the opposite. Okay, so there's only so much that you're willing to do, for example, for somebody, or for the people that you care for. But you're in a truth seeking mode right now, so things for that reason are coming through a more clearer, but unfortunately they're coming at the cost of somebody perhaps being very restricted, or very like kind of conflicted or conflicting. So again, you're not getting like the full, it's like a 5 over a 5. It's like the challenge comes, I feel like, more from their deep rooted maybe traditions or upbringing as well. The Hangman is here for you. So ultimately here, I feel like you're in a place of where you're ready to surrender to the things that are not working. You're taking a pause to gain a new perspective. That's fine. New perspective on love. A lot of you here, I feel like this person has just always been non-flexible. Their views, they resist things all the time. All right, it always feels like they're clashing with how like the freedom, your need for freedom, or the need for having a freeing, a real freeing, loving relationship that's organic, that's not fabricated, that's not built on, cups and options and things like that. The Hangman, I feel like, is a support card in this sense. All right, excuse me. Your inner self is preparing for growth and change and transition. So you're saying something, you're pausing. You're actually kind of saying, I mean, I am like, in a place where I need to know where I need to get myself next, and I want to do it for myself. So that's kind of like the junction or the crossroads that you're on right now. All right. In terms of this person, I also feel like, they do not have, like the structure that we were talking about, the devil, like foundation, well, with Capricorn energy, with the Hangman, I feel like, this is somebody that really kind of does things or doesn't do things because they don't know how to decide or how to decide. But also I feel like they're very vulnerable energies. They're not necessarily experienced or super, like, I feel like a lot of their patterns, hesitations, behaviors, sure, it can come from like upbringings, traditions and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of it also comes from a place of vulnerability, the lack of know. And so it's like it's easy just to speak, but they're probably not in a place where they're able to do things or maintain actionable things on the things that they speak about. So I feel like for a lot of you here, they may not be fully open to to things in general because they're coming from a background that's maybe restricted, or they could be, again, too religious or too of one way or not the other. So I feel like they're probably hanging on here with the Hangman to old ways, old things, and they want to avoid emotional risks. So again, they're not emotionally invested, or they don't necessarily fully have what it takes to fulfill your emotional needs when it comes to love and relationships. All right, so let's look at the staff here. Now, this is, again, guidance, way forward, action items, or whatever else you need to know. We have the Death card. This is a Scorpio energy. I feel like you're seeing yourself as a person that's ready to transform. You're embodying the transformation, the change, the death of one thing, the ending of one thing, and the newness and the beginning of another. You really are hung up here on exactly how you're going to completely let go, but here it feels like you're ready to let go of the things that are no longer serving you. So this whole reading really it's amazing because it just shows that you are transforming, whether or not you're seeing it that way. You're bringing yourself out of something that's just not working for you anymore. Okay, so we're embracing an ending here of some sort, or a change or a shift that you're deciding to apply for yourself, and I feel like it's going to present you with new beginnings. A lot of you here, I feel like you're just not wanting to get stuck. Okay, in terms of your person here, I feel like your transformation here is going to probably intimidate this person. All right, like I said, they try to come across like like the Taurus, like hard charging, and they're aware and everything, but they're not as anything as they think they put out to be. It's more all like smoke and mirrors, I guess, is some way to say it. But if they're in a place where they're changing, like resisting the change, or they don't want to change, they're gonna view your transformation as a threat, to their comfort zone, to their peace, or to what people might think of you and them and stuff like that. So it almost feels like this is somebody that's really just not well grounded in the things that you deserve to have to make a relationship meaningful and fulfilling for you. Now, with the Three of Swords reversed, this is a Libra energy. I feel like for a lot of you here, Sagittarius, you're pushing towards a lot of healing, okay? In terms of external influences here, I feel like your friends, family, or social circles, a lot of you have support. You're being encouraged, okay? You are really being encouraged to kind of move yourself past this heartbreak, or maybe if not, to just open your heart for options and possibilities, to free yourself from like things that are burdening you, the disappointments. This person is kind of, I don't feel like they're in a place where they can like heal these burdens for you, or heal the energy that they've sunk you into with them. So I feel like you have a great supportive environment that's trying to be fair, impartial, an energy that that you can kind of look at the past pain and the heartbreak and anything, the rejections, the abandonment, or whatever betrayals that they've put you through. Your friends want you to grow and heal from that, okay? So they're really kind of standing by your side. If you're like, well, I don't have friends and my family, okay, fine. Think of a source, okay, whatever source. I feel like maybe your angels, your guides, something along those lines. So it doesn't have to be literal all the time. Like, like I wouldn't be telling my friends and family something. So it's like, how are they gonna know? So I understand. But the King of Swords here for you in terms of hopes and fears, looking forward, in terms of guidance or what we need to pay attention to. I feel like you just want something that's going to be grounded in truth, a connection that's very meaningful. I feel like you're looking for a partner that's able to communicate clearly and get you, get you on that path that is, going to be some sort of fun and adventure. And somebody that's going to fulfill you, not give you half truths and lie and manipulate, misguide, or misdirect you just because, it's easy to kind of just find an answer to kind of keep you off their back sort of energy. Okay. So this is an energy here, I feel like, that promotes, for a lot of you, I feel like this energy promotes you coming through as wanting to be aware and logical, because your hope is to be successful in meaningful relationships. Now, I don't know if you're going to try to fix this person's going to fix themselves. I don't know. I don't feel so. But you're going to be looking from things with you're going to look at things in a way that's very disciplined, structured, and logical for your own happiness. In terms of the person that we're dealing with overall, I don't know, somebody here could be kind of nudging. They could be kind of trying to come through because you're kind of like, because of the Three of Swords, they could be kind of coming through as somebody that is trying to be powerful and they have direction. Okay. But I feel like they fear that, when they tell you what they think, I feel like they fear that they're not making sense. So for some of you, I really do feel like this is somebody, they could be controlled. They could be, again, they could have like influences around them, like family members. Somebody's like somebody's making sure this person that we're dealing with isn't staying fully real or committed to you. But for whatever those reasons are, that energy is not showing up, but it feels like there's some influence because this person keeps coming up as like, big D energy, right? They show up with that energy of like the powerfulness, but it's kind of like scattered. Like it's not well thought. It's kind of like a plug and play. They know what to say. They can say the things, but they're not actionable. They're not actionable things that they don't act on them. Okay. So with the Three of Cups at reversed to close this reading for you, I feel like without change, your connection is going to struggle to reach the happiness and the joyful levels that you want, or the harmony that you're trying to seek with this person. I feel like for a lot of you, you might feel like disconnected, or like this is just, that's it. It's not reciprocated. You're not getting what you're not getting back anything close to what you're putting into it. So I feel like you're going to be wanting to look for happiness and fulfillment elsewhere, and in any form of circle. It doesn't have to be a specific circle. I feel like you will find that joy that you are looking for regardless, but you're not going to look for this joy from this person anymore, or at least you're in a place right now where you're like, I can do better by myself. In terms of the person themselves, they're just kind of, they don't want to validate or celebrate this connection for some reason. It's not something that they're emotionally connected to, and it's already led to this emotional distancing. So I feel like a lot of this person comes through, they're very kind of clingy for their needs. Again, if you fit into one of the cups, they're clingy to that cup that they want, and you're one of them, but you're not like in a place where this person is kind of coming through and they're going to prioritize the relationship, any relationship, you over like their own needs. Okay. Over happiness or joy. Okay. So that you can experience together. It's about their own fulfillment. They're very selfish. They're very needy. And it's really sad that I have to say all of this, but I feel like overall, this is all about whether or not they can meet you on a level playing field, and they're not going to. It doesn't feel like they're working on that. Okay. So I feel like with the Five of Cups, the Seven of Cups, okay, and the Three of Swords reversed, there's been like a lot of turbulence here. Okay. So the need for clarity in love, whether it's what you want to love, or whether the love that you have with this person, or whether what's coming out, it's really super important to kind of think those through. I feel like we also have like struggles making decisions based on past trauma or past experiences or past controlling styles. All right. So something has left an imprint on you, but there's a lot of transformation here. All these cards that are showing up, all these major cards, they're shifting you into a different direction. Okay. It's happening. It's a transformational shift, or transformative or transformation based shift for you here. Okay. So it's just time to release old patterns. mainly for your own well-being. So an intellectual honesty, or the honesty with the self, or the directness that's necessary with the person that you may have to kind of put in their own place. So basically don't chase these illusions that this person is putting you in. And I feel like, you're encouraged to embrace your true self, your authentic self, and the transformation that's coming through, where you're going to be releasing the things that no longer serve you. All right. So I feel like it's like a wake up call, a trust your own intuition, Sagittarius, and let go of whatever it is that dims your spark. This person has, potential, but I feel like they resist to change, and they resist to provide emotional comforts, and they do not have the emotional clarity to hang on to your level of like, you guys are not on the same frequency. So, focus on your transformation. The right thing is going to flow at the right time. You never know what you might spark. If this person really matters to you, what change you might spark in their life. At this time, though, the message is really focused on you to keep shining, and let the universe guide your happiness and your peace. Okay, I love you guys so much. Again, if you enjoyed this reading, feel free to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for staying with me till the end, by the way. I appreciate you all, and everybody is welcome here, so you're always welcome. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. All right, love you guys. Bye bye.